Sucking on my own dick, yeah, you know I'm sucking on my own dick. Sucking on my dick, everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our own dicks, everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our dicks, yeah, you know I'm sucking on my penis.
Yeah.
Some sort of disaster has struck. What were you saying?
Something happened. I don't know. There's just always something with this house. Something happened to Tony today. We heard he was in the bathroom. He fatly broke something. I have to be quiet because the walls are so thin. What'll happen is Tony will
What an absolute wretch.
It's completely wretched. He'll have very audible mishaps, and then he'll
doing
scream.
pratfalls.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. He'll scream from his corner of the house, and then Isaac and me can just hear each other like laughing like through the thin wall that separates our bedrooms.
But no one checks on him.
Yeah, no, nobody checks on him. No, he let out one of the loudest screams I've ever heard a human man make today. I still don't know what happened, but I know that Isaac and I both enjoyed it.
And what was it, like a shattering sound or?
So that was yeah. This scream was separate from that. Earlier today, there was like he went into the bath. I like heard him go into the bathroom, and he shut the door.
Which he's supposed to be in his room.
He's supposed to do it in the bucket that we gave him.
In the bucket in there that he's not allowed to bring out to dump anywhere. You give him a new bucket every now and then, but that room is full of buckets.
Well, so he goes in the bathroom.
If he's good, he gets a lid for the bucket.
Right, he has to earn the lid. If he does his chores, he gets a lid. He gets a lid for the big pickle bucket that he shits in. Wow, I hope that with these headphones on, I don't know, like he could be banging on my door right now, begging me to stop, telling me to stop defaming him, but I don't know. There's no way for me to know.
There's really no way.
He goes in the bathroom, and I didn't know. Isaac and I just hear like a shattering sound, and then we go off. He goes, "Fuck, God damn it, fuck,
well,
fuck."
Well, a lot of people don't know that you have a breakaway toilet in your house, like for films.
I was like, did Tony just fatly break the toilet? Like,
just sit down and the toilet offers no resistance. Just sit and it's just
toilet.
a 100% fall. It's like he's a ghost through the toilet.
Well, he didn't do that. What did happen is our old roommate Spencer, who moved out, who had his own, that guy had fucking ghosts in his brain. That guy had a problem. Apparently Spencer just left like empty vodka bottles like on the windowsill of the shower, which you shouldn't do. I mean, Spencer was a really funny guy. He would get drunk, he would scream at his boss to shove shit in his pussy as loud as he could whenever he was having a difficulty doing his I would literally Spencer.
What was this job?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like he would be in his room and he would just go, fuck me, fucking shove shit in my fucking pussy. And I'm just like eating cereal, like and then he would walk. Yeah, he would walk into the kitchen and I'd be like, "Hey, buddy, you doing okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm just on a work call." And I'm like, what is your job? Where do you work? I'm like, well, I hope you got the raise.
Yeah. The only place where it's acceptable to speak like that in your workplace is like any work location that has been dramatized by Martin Scorsese.
He was a really all right. So yeah. So anyway, so Spencer would get drunk and he was a guy like he seemed like I don't think he had Tourette's because like typically like when you have Tourette's and you don't enjoy it, right? Like the people when people have Tourette's like they're tortured by the fact that they're telling you to shove fish in their asshole and all this horrible shit that they say. But Spencer would just walk around the house, he'd be like pow 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 pow, come on man, woohoo! And he had a smile on his face, like he was really happy that his brain was making him do that. I don't know what his problem was. But he would get drunk. He would he would
He,
take
he,
like
had, he had
Isaac-
the fucking he has the relic in his brain from Cyberpunk. Oh god, I just had a thought. Like in
Mhm.
just interject. We'll get back to your thing.
Okay,
but like,
yeah.
like in Cyberpunk, you get like spoiler alert or whatever. But you get like the chip in your head that has the brain of a dead terrorist on it.
Right.
Johnny
That's
Silver.
rough.
Johnny Silverhand, the cool rock and roll terrorist. But like, imagine if you got someone who sucked. Like, if I was in Cyberpunk and I just get Tony Bartoloni in my chip, I'm like, fuck! And he just shows up trying to make me do Zoom shows.
What's the guy's name in Cyber? What's the character's name in Cyberpunk again?
Johnny Silverhand.
No. But
Oh.
what's your character's name?
Oh, your name is V.
Oh yeah, V. Like could you imagine like having a hologram pop up in your like in front of you? It's just like, come on, V, it's time to storm the Capitol. It's time to be a cool terrorist.
Yeah,
It's time to be a
it's
rock and roll terrorist.
it's so funny because like the game like everything about it should not be cool. They almost make Keanu's character really cool. Almost.
Really?
They're so close to doing it, but it's so funny because like everything about it should be so lame. Where like the first time you like his brain merges with yours, you enter this flashback where you're like on stage in this rock club, like shredding, and you're like,
he's actually a rock star.
yeah, he's literally like a in a hardcore band, who then leaves to like go do Die Hard.
That's so fucking stupid.
like when you explain it, it is very stupid. I've been playing the game again. I kind of got back into it.
Got back into it.
Yeah. Now that I know it sucks and I'm like playing it and I'm not surprised, it's more fun. But it's just that's such a funny character to me. It's like, all right, like I'm imagining a marketing meeting. It's like, all right, what do kids love? Well, they love electric guitar and
Yeah.
terrorism. Those are the two coolest things.
Well, it's like this game was clearly made by like a bunch of like Gen X programmers. It feels like
It's made by
it feels like
fucking Polish. It's been made. The game was written by like Gen X Polish guys.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who clearly are
Yeah.
just still.
All
super
right.
into,
What is I don't know how to do a Polish. What is the coolest thing? American rock and roll music.
America? Yeah.
What if Kurt Cobain was Osama bin Laden?
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Yeah, they basically like so he does his he like throws up his devil hands and he's like, goodbye, I gotta go be a terrorist, and then like it's like you like quit the band dramatically. then you get in a helicopter and just like fucking
And just fly it into a building.
well you like machine gun everybody and then go down and plant a bomb in the building and like
Yeah.
then to punish you they put your brain on a chip, I guess. It
Damn.
doesn't make that much sense.
That is a huge punishment, I will say. I mean, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I would be like, send me to jail, please.
And then, you know, he gets fucking activated 50 years later, and they're like, well, we built the building again. He's like, fuck!
God
I
damn it.
never would have thought they would have rebuilt the building. God damn it.
Yeah, I thought.
Where's
yeah.
my flying V guitar?
I thought that was the 26th Amendment that if you blow up a building in act of terrorism, nobody's allowed to buy that land.
Yeah.
You have to make you just have to make a giant hole out of it like they did with Ground Zero.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's allowed to happen.
It has to be a nice little park.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. People can sell T-shirts there, but you cannot rebuild that building.
You cannot rebuild that building.
You better fucking not. Anyway.
So anyway, Tony.
Oh yeah, long story short, basically, Spenny would get drunk, and when he would get drunk, he would do things. He would call them pranks, but pranks just
Ooh.
amounted to he would dig empty Marie Callender boxes out of the recycling and then nail them to the wall like they were paintings, and or Yeah, it's very funny. It's a good prank. I mean, it's what Sacha Baron Cohen would be proud if
A
he
good
saw.
prank on your landlord.
Yeah,
A
well,
good prank on whatever misfortunate soul paid your security deposit 9 years ago.
The other big prank that he pulled was painting his whole room purple, which I guess we didn't realize because we've got a new guy, Todd Duran, moving in, and he saw the room and he was like, "Why the fuck is it purple?"
Just painting the room you rent and not telling any of your roommates is pretty sick.
Just fucking
I don't-
failing. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I would notice if someone was painting in this house.
You know what? There's so much that you can't. It's good mental health to not notice all the things that go on in this house. Like, it's self-care. It's self-care to just shut your door and drown out the screams coming from the various corners.
Just
of
shut
the
your
house.
door, throw on your headphones, podcast. just do the little things that make you happy.
Yeah. So he was it's funny because now they're a new roommate. He's bringing black teens over here on the weekend, and like he's trying to like mentor these kids to like I don't know. I guess
It's like,
I guess maybe
you got to
like
listen to me so that you can live in a place like this.
yeah, pretty much. And he's trying to get him to
A fucking
paint all-
ant infested hellhole.
these
That like
kids-
I assume
what?
like may not even have an address.
Yeah, what's fun? Not on the house. I don't think if none of us knew the address, I don't think anybody would know the address. Like the address exists only in our minds. I mean, that like we have a door. I didn't even realize this. I just found this out. So we have like a gate, but there's a door in the gate that opens up that should let you into our garage. I've never seen it because it's so fucking overgrown. I mean, it's overgrown. I mean, I don't know where the fuck these vines are from. I feel like they were brought here from like I don't know the Amazon. Like it's a thickness and a strain of plant that is choking and suffocating the front gate of our house that I do not think is native to Los Angeles. It's fucking crazy. When you try to open the gate, you're like, holy fuck, this thing is stronger than my dad. This plant, like, this is fucking crazy. I'm sorry. I'm getting all over the place. Yeah. So Todd's he's having these kids paint. I'm on. So the point is, Spenny would play these pranks, and one of the
Very funny pranks.
Yeah, he would tape Taco Bell packets over the door of the bathroom, which I mean,
I love that he's doing things that like he's basically doing like freshman girl art student like pieces as like pranks.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's
Like,
yeah,
it's a statement about commercialism, and then but then cut to Spenny. He's just like, I'm wildly ill. I am not doing well.
he's smearing Verde sauce on his door like he's trying to protect his firstborn in ancient Egypt. Like he's just, So
They should try that at the border.
That's fucking. So I guess he was just leaving. He left the house, and of course nobody in this house clean. It's like this. It's like this house is. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like an autonomous zone. It's just lawless in this house. But I guess he left.
The walls
a bunch.
seem to be made of crackers or something.
Yeah, they're super thin. I've got holes in my wall that I like don't know. I guess stuff was hanging there at one point. I don't know. There are deep cracks in all of the corners of my room that it looks like the house is like threatening to like come apart. And I'm just stonewalling. I'm like, I see your threat and I don't care. You can do whatever you want to me. But yeah, so I guess he left a bunch of like empty vodka bottles just in the shower, and they broke. And so now I assume
This guy, I mean, moved out a long time ago, right?
no, he moved out like a month ago.
Oh, okay, all right.
But a month is still too long.
A month is.
still-
I mean, you can put those bottles in the recycling.
no, he left him in the shower,
Hang in the place where you are most vulnerable to broken glass.
Yeah, so I guess when I take a shower tomorrow morning, I'll find out pretty quick whether or not there's little shards in the bathtub,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Man.
fine. It's fine.
I guess so. I had I too had a toilet and shower related incident this week.
Oh, I heard.
Yeah. So this has happened before where like there's just water everywhere in that upstairs bathroom, and then
Yeah, it happened when I was there. They had to they just left a hole in the ceiling for like ever.
yeah, and then it goes down into the first floor, and then even down into like the garage, like it's dripping on my car. But I figured out what it was. It's that so the toilet got clogged, and then also the toilet is broken, so it runs forever. So if it's
What?
clogged and running forever, it just overflows like continuously. So there was like 2 inches of water in there, and then according to the plumber, the guy who did the tiling didn't do it right. So surrounding the toilet is just like a 2-inch gap where any water that comes out of the toilet just goes straight into the walls of the house.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that's real bad.
So are there turds in your walls, dude?
There are not turds on our walls. There is toilet water in our walls. Lots of toilet water. But then also apparently something's fucked with our pipes where they have like holes in them or something, or like he described the inside as like the inside of the pipe is so rusty that like it grabs toilet paper, it doesn't let it go through. So, and basically he's like the way he described it, I'm like, oh, like cholesterol, like what's happening to me? Like, I know what it is. The house is the house's arteries are closing with every time I take a shit.
Wow, that's super poetic. It's like the house is directly tied to you. You know what I mean? Like, it's
yeah.
like
It's very cursed.
that's an extremely cursed situation.
Yeah. So we had to do what we did last time. Only maybe a little bit more so. I swear more water came through this time, even though I think I caught it earlier. But we had to put out a bunch of pot and pans to just fill with like, because it's like toilet water dripping through the walls and then coming through the ceiling and coming out like a darker color.
Oh, God, that's really fucking gross.
So it came out looking like piss, even though it was like, clear toilet water.
Right.
Even though it was coming from the bowl, not the tank. Like every time you hear toilet water, everyone's like, oh, so like from the tank, like crossing their fingers? No. From the bowl. Straight up.
But it's
I had to fill
brown.
everybody. So I washed them, of course, but I'm just like filling all of my roommates like nice like martini glasses and like decanters and stuff because it's the only stuff there. It's like, all right, well, I hope no one wants to eat a salad for a while.
I mean,
and then it soaks through the carpet. Or maybe through the walls. But I go downstairs, there's just like toilet water dripping on my car like 100 feet below. Not 100 feet, but
my God.
like 2 stories below.
yeah.
So yeah, that was awful. That was very bad. And while I'm cleaning it all up, I'm covered in toilet water. Because I'm like running around, it's falling on me and stuff. I'm so sweaty. So I can't use the shower with that where all the water is because the plumber's coming. So I have to use my roommate's shower because my one roommate has his own bathroom in his room. So I go in there and I left my glasses in my room. So I go in there and everything's blurry and I'm like looking in his shower and I'm like, is that fucking coffee grounds in there? Because like he's always making he always makes cold brew. So I'm like, is that coffee grounds in the shower? Gross. Whatever. Okay, I'll just run it, I guess. It's like grimy. It doesn't really matter. So I like run the water and everything. And then I'm texting Michael and I'm like, hey, have you used this shower recently? And he's like, no, I haven't. I'm like, oh, yeah, it looks like there's a bunch of coffee grounds or something in there. And he's like, that's weird. So I take the shower, get out, go back. And then later he comes up to me. He's like, hey, I looked about those coffee grounds and that was larva.
Holy fuck, Brendan.
Yeah. So at that point, I'm just
my
like,
God.
like my brain is like just completely broken at this point because like the toilet thing's going on. Now I've showered in larva, and it's
God.
all at the same time that like I'm just continually refreshing my phone because there's an insurrection happening. And things were so bad, I just like started laughing, and I'm like, "This is the worst fucking day of my life."
Yeah.
This fucking sucks shit.
Wow, that's it's hilarious. It's like what's that? What's the I don't know if there's a term for it or what if I'm thinking of something specific, but it's almost like your bad brain started to like leak out into the world. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's
one of
like,
those horror movies where like the house is like the person's brain, and like
yeah.
like when they get scared, then like the weather gets bad or something.
Yeah. Wow, man, you're literally living like a psychological thriller.
I truly am.
That's crazy. I mean, like, look, this house is dirty, but we don't have larvae. We don't have like weird, like Exorcist style bugs crawling out of our pipes.
I don't know the exact details. All I know is just I decided I'm not going to go in there and investigate for myself. It already happened.
You got to condemn that bathroom. That's a no man's land for sure, dude. That's fucking crazy. That's so unbelievably funny.
For some reason, the water pressure in there is insanely low, so I'm just like barely taking a shower, just like stomping bugs.
Yeah, you know, it is funny. Like you literally
stomping bugs like wine, like grapes for.
Well, it's funny that like it's like you couldn't escape it at all because like yesterday you turn on the news, that's terrifying. What do you do when you want to relax? Go take a shower. You turn the faucet on, bugs in your hair. It's just like Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Yeah, this is fucking haunted. Like I'm surprised the shower it wasn't just like blood, and then like the walls start screaming. Though I feel like you know how I adjust to like misfortune pretty readily.
Oh. You'd live in a haunted house.
I would 100% live in a haunted house. I'd be like, well, I don't want to complain.
You'd be like, I pay for it. I bought this house.
I would rent a haunted house.
Yeah, you would. And you would stay for the whole year. You'd be like, I'm getting my fucking deposit back. I'm not getting my deposit back.
Hey, should we put in a request about the slime? I'm like, well, no, I mean, if we put in too many requests, then the landlord's just gonna, think we're trouble and not take him seriously. So
yeah. I want to be.
We put in a request about all the skeletons, and I have a feeling they're gonna fix that. So
the skeleton should at least be paying rent. Can we talk to the skeletons about paying rent?
Yeah, there's just a skeleton like with a remote in his hand on the couch. Just a visual gag skeleton.
That would be the ultimate move to just be like, if we're following the reality of this bit, truly the ultimate deadbeat roommate is a guy who's he's already a decayed skeleton. Because then we'd be like, man, you've got to pay rent. He could just be like, what are you going to do to me? What could you possibly do to me?
Look, I've been living here for 150 years, so
yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, other roommates have tried. It's like, fuck, man, he fucking railroaded us in that house meeting, the skeleton. He
pays you $2.70 at the end of every month, and you're like, what is this? She's like, those are 1911 prices, and I have rent control. I'm under rent control. God damn! What?
Skeleton's watching the news and he sees a guy with a Confederate flag at the Capitol. He's like, "Oh, we're back! Nice! Fuck yeah! Let me go get my coat." He goes to the closet, gets a fucking old gray wool coat.
Oh fuck yeah! You know those skeletons, they're holding out for the Confederacy to come back just like Disco. They're holding out for all the big comebacks.
Let me ask you a question, Nick. Would you rather the Confederacy come back or Disco?
I know it should be an easy answer.
Man, I fucking hate having skeletons for roommates. Fucking sucks.
It sucks so bad.
You're trying to sleep because you have work tomorrow, and he's playing the xylophone too loud with his own bones.
Yeah, just playing his own ribcage.
Yeah, you're like, hey man, I got a meeting tomorrow. It's like, oh yeah, definitely, okay.
Yeah,
Starts-
he's like, I'm sorry, man. I'm just practicing for my gig. You're like, what gig? Nobody's even allowed to know that you're alive. Our relationship is a huge secret. Do you understand? Do you understand how many people would lose their minds if they found out I was roommates with a walking, talking skeleton? You would be on the news.
Look, man, you gotta stop eating my groceries. I know that technically I can still eat them because they fall right through you onto the floor and you put them back. But honestly, the floor isn't that clean. I'm not.
Yeah, there's just
Skeleton keeps pouring milk through his skull onto the ground.
Yeah, there's literally just like a trail of like milk and lettuce, just like following him into the kitchen. You're like, dude, please stop eating my food. He's like, what are you talking about? That would be horrible to live with a skeleton, Brendan.
Yeah, the worst.
You know what? And you know what? You know what I like about this podcast is nobody else will say that.
No
Nobody
one else will.
say
No one else goes into this kind of thing.
Nobody else will even.
Everybody
entertain
else
this
talks
thought.
about current events, their day.
Oh fuck!
True crime podcast. This is a speculative crime podcast.
This is a speculative reality podcast.
Yeah, we like to talk about crimes that may happen, and perhaps will involve us.
Yeah. Pre-crime, if you will.
Pre-crime.
We're a pre-crime podcast. This is the only podcast that will be used as evidence later. We can guarantee you that.
Dude, I would love to start a pre-crime podcast, like a second podcast. I think I did this. I forgot if I did this. If I riffed something like this on here, if it was in the Discord or what. But like, I love the idea of like true crime media that like follows people and attempts to like convince them to become criminals.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so like we started a podcast and we just like started including like voice memos and stuff from like just some guy we know, like just Tony or something.
Yeah.
Just unbeknownst to him, we're like, we interviewed people who knew him, and they're like, "Well, yeah, this guy's definitely off. Why?"
We just.
I mean, I guess if something were to happen, I would say that I could have known something, but
we just start building a case against people who have no idea.
yeah,
They don't even know that we're putting together a file on them.
yeah, we fucking CIA them.
Yeah. Oh, that would be so sick. Yeah, dude. I just want to get on like every week and like demand as soon as we have enough listeners where we could inspire a mob of people to, gosh, I don't know, break past 4 police barriers and steal a dais from a government building. I think once we have that kind of power and leverage, we need to just get on mic every week and be like, it's time to arrest Dana Donnelly. We need to get her. Like, everybody go. She's posted enough pictures of her house and her pool that I'm sure that somebody on 4chan can like triangulate her location based on images. If you could figure out where Shia LaBeouf's flag was, I'm sure you could find Dana Donnelly's $15,000 oven.
I wish that we could have. I wish that you had picked like a fake name or something.
No, I know.
I mean, this is funny, but I am nervous.
No, I'm nice to Dana. Dana and I had a night. Robert likes my tweets. I said hi to Dana once at a mic. We can edit it out. I'm sorry. That was it. Just. It was
I mean,
the
we
first
can't.
thing.
How would we do that?
How would we possibly
Explain
do
to
it?
me how I would edit that out.
You know, I have edited episodes since after I broke the oath. I'm sorry.
You download them and then in Audacity without telling me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did it to get rid of. I mean, I did it once because I doxed somebody that I wasn't supposed to dox, and then I did another.
So your
time to-
girlfriend.
Yes. Yeah. It's the only.
Who else would you?
It's the only.
Who
time.
else would you respect enough to then go back and remove it?
You're right.
Yeah. As if there's anyone else on earth that you wouldn't just be like, "Hey, look, sometimes the chips fall where they may."
That was one of the only times in my life where I was just immediately like, you're right. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have shared that detail. I will never do that for anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a good boyfriend and I'm principled. No, but I also edited some Coil stuff out.
Yeah, yeah. I hope that dude who stole a podium from the Capitol at least like has a podcast or something. That'd be so
It's on
sick.
eBay.
What?
It's on eBay.
Oh, it is?
He's selling it for like $400. But I was gonna tweet something about that, and then he actually fucking did it.
Damn. I mean, that would be sick to just have like in the background of your like home podcasting studio.
Well, I think it'd be even funnier if like he has that, and like 6 years from now, he's like trying to like declutter his house, and he's just like staring at the dais from the Capitol building, like, where did I get this? He's like, who gave this to me? I cannot remember.
He's just going through a stack of Nancy Pelosi's mail. He's like, well, this is old. I can get rid of this.
Oh my fucking yeah! It's so funny that a dude just like, man, it's fucking crazy that a dude put his feet up in Nancy Pelosi's chair in her office and then like walked out of the Capitol, like took pictures with her mail, and then went back to, I guess, the Holiday Inn or whatever, wherever he was staying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yesterday was fucking wild.
It was fucking wild. I would have expected
wild.
more antics, though. It looked like a lot of just like standing in cramped. Like I would have expected more antics, like get on Nancy Pelosi's chair and like blow yourself with the fire extinguisher, so you go back.
Yeah, I was
Fucking
disappointed.
TPing. Instead, it looked like it was like really boring Snowpiercer.
Yeah, it was certainly it
It was
was
Snowpiercer if one like 25-year-old white bae got shot. Someone,
Yeah,
man, that guy's got to feel bad. Whoever fucking red pilled his bae.
Yeah, I can't
You know the trajectory of that guy. Where he was like, man, you're right. Political correctness is bad in comedy. I love Rogan. And then cut to 2 years later, he's just like putting pressure on his girlfriend's neck, and he's like, I fucked up. I fucked up bad.
There had to be a bunch of people there yesterday, just like I'm sure there had to be at least like 300 guys in the Capitol building, just like wandering around, like holding fucking government documents, just like, ooh, okay, I might have got a little lost in this bit.
Yeah.
Like, this is
What we call Coward Hour Season 1. They're in Season 1 of Coward Hour still.
where like you experience a moment of doubt and then you just double down even harder and like and rush Congress. Well, did you see that weirdly
That is so funny to imagine a guy just like fully in like the halls of Congress, just like fuck. I didn't even wear a mask. Fuck, my phone's on. God damn it.
Yeah, you just see one dude like everybody's going nuts, people are ransacking, you just see one dude standing still, disassociating, just like in the corner of the fucking room.
I think that's what that guy like. I know like normally like when like Twitter grabs onto something like that, it gets like lame and not funny immediately. But like the photo of the guy like beat red, like frothing at the mouth is so funny. That's what that guy did. Like he just realized he's like, fuck.
Did you see that there was a bizarre motley crew of like indie darlings there? Did you see that Ariel Pink from Ariel Pink's Haunted Graffiti, John Mouse, and the director of that Feel When No GF were all there?
Yeah. I mean, John Mouse makes sense. Like, but
because he did MDE.
Yeah, was Ariel Pink's music in World Peace?
No, but I didn't realize that Ariel Pink has been like a Trump supporter for like 4 years, I guess, like
Damn.
on the record. Yeah, just like weird inflammatory statements like
I guess that's more evidence for our like Pitchfork was fucking wrong about everything take.
Yeah, or I think I don't know. There used to be this is almost going to sound like I agree with it, which I don't, but edginess in indie rock used to be a lot more commonplace. You used to like people used to like a lot of indie rock musicians used to be like way more inflammatory.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that it was just assumed that because they were like in the underground scene, they were like left leaning, but No, I mean, I guess I was reading today, like apparently Ariel Pink has made statements like gay marriage pisses me off. I thought he was gay. I didn't realize that, maybe just because he has a lady's name, but maybe just because his name is a lady's name and then the gayest color, I assumed he was gay, but I guess maybe he's not. And when he was asked, like, I guess like there was a picture of him there and someone was like, were you at the Trump rally? And he was like, I was just there to show my support for the president. Also, Black Lives Matter is out of control, and it's just like, all right, things have gotten really weird.
Now I must go back to make my little synth tunes.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna go back to making lo-fi bedroom pop. Really fucking weird.
It would be the funniest, like high school era Pitchfork musician. It'd be funny if like of Montreal was all Nazis.
Oh yeah, dude.
I mean, honestly, that wouldn't surprise me too much. He fucking rode like a white horse in concerts and shit.
Right? Is that a Nazi thing?
No, I mean, like no, not necessarily.
It's
but,
just
like,
ominous.
It just feels ominous.
Yeah, it's very sus behavior to just have a white horse and then
same
ride
as like how Viking shit isn't technically Nazi stuff, but you're like,
yeah, that's true.
Anything where you're into like classical era, like warrior aesthetic. You're like,
yeah. It would be so cool, like if Animal Collective like came back from hiatus and they're like, we're releasing an album. Our next album is going to be a concept album all about the steel. We're doing an album about about the disgraceful steel.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. I want.
MGMT
more...
has announced that when they sang "The Youth is Starting to Change," what they meant was the demographics of childbirth in America are drifting and committing white genocide.
Oh fuck, that's awesome. Yeah, the Flaming Lips are just like, no, we've always been singing about white genocide for 40 years.
Yeah, it was on side 16 of that album. You didn't hear it? Yeah, I guess no one listened to the whole thing, but at the end we very plainly lay out our beliefs.
Well, it's like that album where like you have to play all 4 CDs at once. That album, they did that album Zyreka.
Yeah.
You have to play 4 CDs at once, and they're just like, that album is loaded with Nazi shit. Nobody listened to it, but it's nothing but subliminal pro Nazi messages.
That's where Trump got his ideas. Trump loves the Flaming Lips.
Loves the Flaming
And he was like, I should run for president. Trump in his fucking Williamsburg loft in 2009.
I saw him at Chicago Pitchfork. A show you wouldn't believe. You'd never believe it. They were in the bubble. He brought the bubble out. I thought it was incredible.
You see a photo Melania has Zooey Deschanel bangs.
Yeah.
Trump in skinny jeans would be a disaster.
I was at Pitchfork Chicago. I was candy flipping, and I saw Wayne Coyne, and I decided I was going to be the leader of the free world. Which is definitely something that could have happened to me. It's funny. I did yesterday. All right, look, I'm not even going to joke about it. What happened yesterday was really, really bad. Like, not even remotely funny. And the hypocrisy from the Capitol Police, especially, who are like notoriously aggressive. Like the fact that like 14 people were arrested. It's disgraceful. But I did relate to Trump in a way that was troublesome. Like when everybody's like, hey man, you incited this riot, you need to come on TV, you need to apologize, you need to tell people to go home. Like Joe Biden gets on TV, he delivered a pretty good speech about all right, this is not who we are, President Trump, if you're not a coward, tell these people to stop, like undo what you did. And Trump got on TV. And he doubled down. He could not admit that he did something wrong. And I was like, I feel you on that, dude. I've been in this situation hundreds of times.
What? I'm cheating? Look, I love you. You're very special. Please go home.
Yeah, he goes, look, it's time to stop. I mean, everybody understands why you're doing what you're doing. You have very good reasons for doing it. He goes, I'm not telling you to stop, but some people think you should stop. I'm like, this is the language that I speak. Like, I'm so well versed in these tactics. This is the only
So
way
concerning.
what?
This is very concerning.
It's very concerning. That's the only way. Well, it's not entirely true, but that is definitely like I've got to talk myself down before I can like shamelessly concede something. Every time Trump's conceded something, like whether it's like stand back and stand by, I'm like, it's a Nick Oldershaw move right there. Like. I'm just like I just come out. I'm like all right. I was told to. Apparently, I have to apologize because a lot of people are saying that I'm wrong.
Nick, you need to pay rent. I've chosen to live in my car.
Yeah. and decided that it was actually good for me. Which I think it was.
Really, who's to say?
There's nobody.
There's really no saying one way or the other.
Look, reality is shaky business, okay? I mean, your house is a perfect example of it. You're in a bad mindset. Suddenly the faucet starts leaking bugs.
Yeah, the skeletons are being a
Skeletons
nuisance.
Yeah.
There's nothing like a nuisance skeleton in the home.
No, it's horrible. And it's a direct result of you not being able to think positively. Now, I've mastered positive thinking.
Skeleton keeps turning the heat off, and you're like, you don't have... no, the skeleton keeps turning the heat up, and you're like, look, you need to wear skin. The rest of us have skin and muscles, and we don't need the heat on that high. It's too expensive.
And he's like, no, I actually decided that it's good to not do that. I think I like these skeletons too, dude. They're definitely kindred spirits.
I could see you like how we were talking about like realizing you're in the bit too deep and then just doubling down. Like I could see you as like a necromancer. You just have an army of skeletons. You're like, okay, all right, this got a little bit away from me.
Yeah, damn. All right, an entire army of the dead at my command.
And they want orders. Ah, fuck.
I can probably come up with like an hour's worth of orders, but if these guys want to hang after, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's like I'm not trying to have these guys at my house.
Yeah, it's like when you're like drunk at the bar at last call and you invite people back to your place to keep drinking, and then when everybody gets there, you're like, I want to go to bed.
Yeah, I definitely. There's a lot. I feel like. In terms of getting lost in the bit, it would be horrible to just like come to one day, like just like suddenly realize you're like the despot of like a third world country, just like, fuck, how did I do this? Like, on one hand, it is kind of impressive, but on the other hand, they are stoning all the women, so I do feel kind of bad about that. But I can't just quit; the country would fall apart.
Well, it must be then that I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, I must. You know what? I think I'm known as what they call a necessary evil, which initially sounds bad, but those are some of the most compelling characters throughout history.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to be a necessary evil. Oh my god.
Oh,
No, seriously, if you're somebody, that means that you've permanently etched your name into the tablets of history as one of the main characters of reality. That's a huge get.
completely psychotic.
That's huge.
One
That's
of your craziest takes.
That's probably one of the biggest credits you can have as being a necessary evil. I want that.
This next comic coming to the stage is a necessary evil. He would like to remind us that blood turns the wheels of history, and he has a 15-minute Hulu special coming out. Please welcome Supreme Ayatollah.
Yeah.
Nick Oldershaw.
And then the thousands of skeletons in the audience just clap their bones together. They just play xylophone. They all play xylophone for me as I come to the stage.
Dude, how sick would that be to have like a late night band of all skeletons?
Oh my god, it'd be so fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, the one's playing the trumpet. You're like, that's the one from the meme. I got him. That's how fucking I made it. I fucking got the meme skeleton.
Yeah, Skull. Yeah, Skull. Well, Skull Trumpet, but he can only do it like once every 5. He's like Fred Armisen on Seth Meyers. He's got a busy schedule, so he only does it like once every 5 weeks.
Yeah.
I was also realized, like, how crazy is it that, like, Jimmy, like, is it not kind of fucked up that, like, the Roots used to be a band and then, like, Jimmy Fallon just made them all his slaves? Like, literally, like, they're just his indentured servants every night.
Yeah, do they put out albums anymore?
No, they just play music. They can't tour. They can't go into the studio. It's a fucking late night show. It's on every night. They just play.
Yeah, and it's not even
covers.
like it's the cool late night show.
It's the worst one.
Yeah, damn.
It's and the Roots are just doing that.
That's crazy.
So yeah, so I didn't mean to go up. I just
No.
That thought pops into my head all the time. We're just like,
And
why are we
none of them
cool
are
with
even
it?
skeletons.
That's the worst part. That's the worst part about this whole thing.
Mm-hmm. You know what'd be inconvenient is if you had if you had a skeleton roommate, you wouldn't know what race they were. You know, unless they had a Confederate coat or something.
Right.
But like you'd be complaining about your neighbors, you'd be like, these fucking are you know, yeah, they're nice. What is he?
You go up to you Dan Nine him.
Yeah.
You're like, hey man, what race are you anyway? And he's like, I've been dead for 2,000 years. I don't even remember. All that stuff is completely indistinguishable.
Or like, wait, you've been dead for 2,000 years and you're a Confederate? You're like, yes. I am not contradicting myself.
He's like, look, I've been
Look,
going
I saw the
online.
way the wind was blowing. I decided to get involved.
He's like, fuck, I guess the skeleton got on Reddit, started reading theories.
Fuck, the skeleton's online.
Fuck, the skeleton's formulating theories. That will certainly end badly.
We cannot permit the skeleton to have beliefs.
No. Yeah, my God, yeah, I'm a skeleton with beliefs. What's even informing those beliefs? You know what I mean? It would be
That would be
fucked
sick.
up.
A show like Friends or something like or like let's do like How I Met Your Mother. Like one of the characters, you don't go back to their apartment that often. Like Barney. Barney is like a skeleton roommate, but you only see him like 1 or 2 episodes a season.
Yeah, he's usually like they always get back to the apartment just as he's leaving.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what did I see that?
Yeah. Even though it's real life, the skeleton walks like in stop motion ways.
Oh yeah, like
It-
Ray Harryhausen, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Jason and the Argonauts or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, where like nothing has momentum or anything. Just like complete uniform movements.
Yeah.
Like, hey, he's just locking the door and he just whistles.
Yeah, that would be. This is why we deserve to have our own sitcom.
We really do.
Yeah, it would certainly be the most revolutionary thing on TV, and not just something like Mulaney. I'm sure it wouldn't end up exactly like the Mulaney show.
Well, I would like. I was thinking like a show like Dexter or something, where it's about a serial killer, but that plot line resolves itself season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Then the rest is pretty much like a normal show.
Well, I think I would actually probably enjoy that.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I watch a horror movie, and if things are going too well in the beginning of a horror movie, I'm like, God, I hope they all just stay friends and have a nice time in the woods. I really do not want to see bad things happen to these people.
I hate to see misfortune.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's like, I mean, sometimes I love it, but I like movies that start unfortunate and get worse. Like, I love to be mired in misfortune.
Uh-huh.
I love wrapping myself in like a cocoon of misfortune. I don't know if people who've been listening to this podcast for 2 years can tell that, but that's definitely like a comforting thing. But when things are really nice and then they go wrong, that's where I'm like, fuck, this is like a car crash. I hate this.
But weren't you in a car crash? Speaking of car,
I was in a car. Yeah, I was in a car crash. It was a really bad one. It's funny. I haven't. This is how psychotic I am with the podcast. Like, I haven't even like told you about it as a friend because I'm like, no, that's content.
Yeah.
And I was, and like, as I was fucking rear-ended, there was literally a part of my brain going like, ooh, boy, do I have a topic for when I get back to LA.
Mm-hmm.
So I was with, we came back. We were coming back from breakfast with Wowo, me and Bay,
Mm-hmm.
driving my mom's
Breakfast with Wowo. It sounds so dark.
car. I mean, it was, it was very dark. I mean, he was fine. It was just we just ran through his life story again and all the murders and the hits and the everything I can't talk about. That he's just decided to reiterate to me like 5 different times this year.
I'm going, yeah, because he's going to die without any guilt about it, but it's only going to haunt you.
Fucking pretty much, dude. So many dark revelations. But anyway, so we're driving back. We get into the town where I live, and there's we're like we get off Ritchie Highway. And we're coming down this road called Robinson Crossing because there's a crosswalk there because like the bike path intersects the road. And I see a pedestrian. I don't know if you know this, Brendan.
And you ran over a biker and killed him and drove away, and you thought this is going to be a great episode of the podcast.
I did it because I knew the content would be great. I saw an opportunity. I took it and I said, there's a few thousand people who need to hear about this. No, I'm actually a great Brent. I don't know if you know this. I pay my dues to pedestrians because I live my life as a pedestrian. I'm a great friend of the pedestrians. I make sure that they get everything that they need. When I'm in a, like, I tend to, when I'm in a car, the rare few times that I'm in a car, I always kneel and bow to the pedestrians because having come out as a crosswalker myself, I understand how hard that path is.
So, the way that the law is written, you follow that.
Yeah, which I don't usually do. so that's how you know.
All right, yeah, all right, I'm following.
Yeah, it's a huge, for me to follow the written law is a huge sign of respect. So this guy, and he's got a cute dog with him. So it wasn't an abrupt stop or anything like that. I slowly slow the car down. I motion that it's okay for him to start walking, and he's not like a foot into the crosswalk that me and my girlfriend we get slammed by this fucking car so hard that like the whole back of our car like lifts up. At first it was really fucking scary because the car behind us basically just fucking crumpled. Where like it was smoking, it was leaking like orange liquid, the whole front is fucked, like all the airbags deployed, the windshield shattered, like the 2 side windows are shattered. And like the way the front of the car crumpled, my girlfriend was like, because the girl who was driving the car shot out the passenger door. She shot out the passenger door and she was just like on the ground, like hands over her mouth, like screaming and crying. So we thought that the person in the front seat had fucking died. Like we thought that like they were like face down, like just like bleeding out of their head or something. So it was insane. I haven't been in a car accident like this ever. And our car was fine. It was more just like seeing what happened to this girl. So we pull over to the side of the road and I needlessly panicked because I don't have my own insurance as a driver. My parents' car is insured and I have a valid driver's license, all that stuff, but I don't have car insurance, which I thought you needed to have. I was under the impression that you had to have your own private car insurance to drive a car. But in Maryland, apparently, if the car is insured, you're fine.
I don't know.
Which the cop explained to me when he realized that I wasn't being all the way truthful about who was driving the car. He was like, you can just give me your driver's license. It's okay. Because me and Bay, like, I pulled over. I parked the car. I looked at Bay and I was like, I don't have car insurance. And she's like, what? And I was like, I don't have car insurance. And she's like, are you asking me to tell them that I was driving the car? And I was like, would you? That would be so nice.
Good God.
And then, really bad. and so the cop came over to talk to us. And so we're like, she was driving. And he was like, can I see your license and everything? And she didn't have her license on her because she left it at home because I was the one driving the car. But you don't need your license in Maryland. You actually don't need your license to drive a car, which is fine. But all the same, but also like when so we had said that she was driving And then the cop was like, all right, so can you tell me what happened? And I was like, yeah, well, basically I was coming down Robinson Road and then I slowly I'm in first person the whole time. And the cop is just like, give me your license.
Damn.
So I'm like, okay, you know my license. And this poor like girl, I think she was like 18. Like we got because we both had the same insurance company, so like we got all the info, like cleanly exchanged it. This poor fucking girl must have been in so much trouble because like somehow like within minutes her boyfriend was there, her boyfriend's parents were there, her mother was there. They were just like,
Was she the only one in the car?
She was the only one in the car. Yeah. We thought there was no driver. She was the
Okay.
driver. We thought that like the way she was crying, we thought that like somebody had died.
So she jumped out of the passenger seat.
Well, there would have been no way for her to get out of
Okay.
the driver's seat. So she
Okay.
just she went across.
Imagine just there's a car speeding at you and she's just in the passenger seat and no one's driving and then she hits you and she's like, fuck, I knew this was a bad idea.
It freeze frames right before she hits our car and she's like, you're probably wondering how I wound up in this situation. Yep, that's me. Like but apparently, I guess the reason why she was so upset was I overheard her mother say to the cop, like, yeah, she just had a new stereo put in there. And I was like, oh, fuck, this poor girl. She's never going to
Damn, if your mom's telling the cop that.
Yeah, it's like you're in so much fucking trouble. Like that, my heart goes out to her. It really sucked. But it was just it was like a horrible day. Well, we came
So
off
she
like
you were like stopped at a stop sign and she just hit you?
No, we were stopped at a crosswalk allowing the pedestrian to cross.
Oh, okay.
The thing that's scary is if the pedestrian had crossed even like a foot further than he would have, we would have killed him and his dog because we like went ahead in the crosswalk.
Mm-hmm.
Like she like pushed us ahead, I should say. But my parents' insurance information like wasn't in the car. So like which did make it kind of hairy for a minute. Because we're like tearing the car apart, just like, okay, where the fuck is the car insurance? Because we couldn't leave the scene until we like exchanged insurance.
Yeah.
And the cop was getting annoyed. So I had to like call my I tried calling my mom and then my dad. And what I didn't realize is like that morning, one of their best friends had died of a heart attack, like in his sleep. So like they were like over at like his wife's house, like mourning. And I finally got one on the phone and I was like, Dad, I was just like in a horrible accident. Like your insurance isn't in the car. Like what, like I need to give them something. And he's like, oh, well, we do it all digitally now. He's like, so we just have it on our phones. So, son, it's understandable. He was like dealing with a crazy thing. He's like, I'm just going to need you to figure out how to take care of that. And I'll see you later today. And I was like, what? No, I was like, I can't. I was like, Dad, I'm so sorry for your loss, but I can't do that. And so
Like at least take a screenshot of the thing and text it to you.
he was in distress. I get it. So I go over to the cop. I explain to them what's going on. I'm like, I can't get the insurance information. He's like, I literally just need the policy number. Like, if you can call them back. So like, I called them back again, and I'm like, Dad, if you just like read me the policy number. He's like, Nick, I can't. I know how to pull up my phone. I can't do that right now. I can't give you the policy number. So I'm like panicking, and I just turn to the cop, and I'm like, Officer, apparently I'm not allowed to give you the policy number.
Officer, will you please speak to my dad?
and this cop just like he looks down at his notepad and he looks at me and he goes, what? He goes, what did you say to me? Like at this point I'm just like, please take me to jail. Just fucking take me to jail. Just throw me in the tank.
I would rather be in jail than make my dad mad at me.
Well, I'm between it truly is the two worst figures to be caught between: your angry father and a police officer in small town America who's already had it up to here with your antics.
You're like, well, I hope a third car comes and hits me, because then I'll be out of this equation.
Yeah, I just go and I just go lay myself on the burning grill of the sedan that hit me. And then finally, somehow they just like figured, like they ran it in their database and figured out what our insurance was. And I'm like, why the fuck? Like, if it's that easy, why did you need me to do all that? And we finally drove away. But it was like literally the first day of 2021. I was like, oh fuck, this is not going to be a good year. Is it? This is going to be a horrible year.
It's not. It's going to be so much worse than last year.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Everybody's like, pandemic's over. It's like the pandemic's not gonna be over until like next fall, easily.
Yeah.
Like nobody's like they're not inoculating people at the rate that they thought they would be, despite the massive success of Operation Warp Speed. I mean, I hate to say it. It's like I think we're like no, hang on. Operation Warp Speed was legitimately like it is legit, and it's only it through sheer almost by accident it was a success because they just threw money at the private sector until multiple vaccines were developed. And I'm not giving him credit. I'm just saying Operation Warp Speed wasn't if there's one positive to pull from the Trump administration, we did get a vaccine way faster than we should have. That being said, we've only vaccinated like what 10% of the people that they said they would. We're like 2 million out of 20 million. This is not ending anytime soon.
Yeah. And like it's funny that nurses are all like on Facebook so they won't take it.
Yeah, that's really true.
Yeah, it's like 50% of nurses are refusing it. So I'm just imagining they're like, please take the vaccine, and it just cuts to just like obese nurses smoking cools. They're like, nah.
Well, like, where do you think the dude who was at my parents' neighbor who like he's a doctor of some sort. He has some kind of like medical degree. He was like at our Christmas Eve party. He was the one who cornered me drunkenly. He's like, you need to take 500 milligrams of vitamin D every day. Like he's just like red pilling me on like the nutrition to combat coronavirus. He's like, we got to reopen. We got to get everybody D'd up. And I'll admit, it's like he cornered me, and there was a lot of me going, yeah, whatever you say, man. But sure enough, the next day I would like found myself in CVS buying vitamin D. Like it still got into my brain where I was like, I guess I'll just do what that crazy guy said.
Yeah, why not? Damn, I got tested today, and this was the first time that I went, because I always go to Dodger Stadium, and I couldn't this time. So this was the first time I went to one where I had to like park and get out and like get in a line. It feels so much more dystopian when it's like on foot than in a car. Yeah. Like I'm just walking through and I'm like, this looks like where you like go through in The Last of Us, like on your way into the city.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's time to go get your sterilization shots, dude.
Yeah, and like the line goes like right by the tents where people are like coughing. So I'm just standing there and there's like a tarp, and then I can hear a man just like coughing like horribly.
And you're like, that guy's gonna die. Yeah, it's dude, I like
just raise my hand. That guy's got it.
Well, yeah, it was even like, it's funny. Well, it's funny because it's also selfish, because it was literally like the only reason I felt like this is because of like the microcosm of a bad day that I was experiencing. But it's like, we got in that car accident, pulled up to my parents' house. It starts raining out. They're listing COVID deaths like on the radio, like on the radio station they have turned on. And I just like looked at my girlfriend and I was like, yeah, the world's definitely ending. Mainly because I was just in a car accident, but I also feel
mainly because my dad and a cop are mad at me.
Yeah, my dad. I'm just like, what a dystopian nightmare. Damn, Big Brother is real. This sucks. Insane that I would be persecuted for my beliefs like this.
Yeah, yesterday I was watching toilet water rain down onto my forehead, and I was like, "Thanks, President Cheeto."
Yeah, you're one of the. It's like all those memes that are getting shared of like yeah, well, 4 years later it ended exactly how everybody thought it would, but that's how you feel about just like dirty water in your walls. You're
yeah.
Like, yep, could have told you this would happen.
Yeah,
oh my God.
It's like, damn, I gained so much weight during Trump's presidency. Thanks, Donald.
Yeah, you just chart all
I gained
the things
10 pounds a year of his presidency. Man, I calculated what my weight is supposed to be. Like, in order for me to have like a not overweight BMI, I'd have to weigh 135 pounds.
Oh, not even close.
I feel like you gotta. It can't be accurate, right? If you're 5'2".
I mean, I feel like 135 sounds.
But
like
I mean,
right.
I still have the same amount of organs and everything as everybody else.
Do you? I'm not a doctor. I don't know that.
I think so.
I don't know if you do.
If anything, I bet my liver is bigger.
Wouldn't it stand to reason that your intestine would be smaller?
I don't know.
You're large, like, wouldn't it?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know, Brendan. You know what I've been doing to help slim down because I realize that like I have horrible gut health. I've just been like looking like now that I have money and free time, I'm just like, I walk a lot, I'm working out. Why am I like not losing weight in my gut? And I'm just like, it's just like, oh, I probably like I don't have the right like fucking like bacteria in there probably because I eat like shit. I'm on probiotics. I'm doing a detox and cleanse right now. And I'm losing weight.
Is it because you're not eating the shit? I feel like.
What do you mean?
Feel like you're like, yeah, my biome is wrong because of all this garbage I eat. I think it's just you're not eating the garbage right now, so you're losing weight, or like you're paying more attention to what you eat.
No, I'm eating the garbage.
You're eating the garbage.
I cut it down.
Calories in, calories out is the same. That's all it fucking is, dude. It's just calories in, calories out.
But you also carry like if you have bad gut and colon health, this is kind of gross. I don't even like to get on this subject. But if you have like bad gut and colon health and you don't have the right like what is this? Like prebiotic fiber in there, you will retain a lot of weight in your gut, which is where I retain weight, even though the rest of me is like generally skinny, because you don't have like an efficient like metabolism or digestive system. And like,
I don't know. I think you're eating cookies out of the cookie drawer.
What are you talking about?
I think that's what's going on here.
No, I'm being good. I'm on a high fiber diet. I don't eat cookies. If I'm gonna have a treat, the only treat that I have is I have granola
every
bars.
time you see your dad, you're suddenly anorexic.
Yeah, literally. No, I was doing this before. No. It wasn't every time I see him. It's also in
my daddy poked my tummy, and now I have to eat flax.
Yeah, it's also in preparation before I see him, as well as after.
Good God, dude.
The cop also made comments. I didn't enjoy it. But I'm actually.
Yeah, I hate when the cops Pillsbury me because I don't have the insurance info.
No, but I
hate when the cop makes me do the truffle shuffle. And the dash cam video goes viral and no one's even mad.
At the scene of an accident, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, no, because in general also I'm sluggish. I've got all these like secondary symptoms of like, okay, I'm not treating my body great. Like I've started taking vitamins in addition to like, all right, I'm going to have fucking carrots and asparagus instead of like fucking chips. And I feel good. I feel way better.
Well, yeah, because you're not eating chips. This isn't. Yeah, I don't understand what revelation you think you're sharing with me, Nick.
Brendan, it was a revelation for me. It was because for the longest time I had such a good metabolism that I was like, yeah, you can have Popeyes 3 times a day. You just have to go to different locations. All right, that's the only way it's not embarrassing. And now I'm just like, I guess you can't actually. You
just have to go to 3 different locations because that's where Postmates sends you to pick it up for other people.
No, I was doing this. I was doing this well before that. I didn't want the people to drive through to judge me. I did. It was such a nice revelation when I was in the Charlotte airport when I realized that they had 2 Bojangles because I was really dreading going back to Bojangles for a second helping. And then when I found out there was one at the other end of the airport, I walked 30 minutes just to do it. I deliberately
fascinating.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I deliberately now, every time I fly home, I get a layover in Charlotte just so I can have Bojangles. I pick it on purpose.
Oh, that sounds sick.
It's really nice.
Damn, I want fucking Bojangles.
You can't have it. It's not out here.
I know. Well, that's an hour 7.
Oh yeah, we can call it, man.
All right. Patreon.com/Coward Hour. You can also go to cowardhour.com. There's links for our Discord, our socials, and everything. And read, it's my pinned tweet, Batman Little St. Wayne, my Jeffrey Epstein Batman movie, which I think next week we are going to do a table read with Robbie Goodwin. Probably it's going to be next week. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wrote the most fucking retarded... I really should have spent this effort on something that I could show to anyone. Because I genuinely think it's good. I think I did a good job, and
you did do a good job.
Thank you. I'm like, damn, I really broke the story in a way that I haven't been able to in the past, and this is the most useless writing sample.
You'll never make. Yeah, it will literally never get made. There's not even a version of it where you replace the characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, the idea was never it gets made. The idea was like, I was like, oh man, remember that guy who wrote like the Seinfeld 9/11 spec, and now and then it went viral, and now he writes for Family Guy. I'm like, I could do that, but then I remembered, I'm like, oh, nobody retweets me.
Not anymore.
I have a lot of very influential followers who follow me because we know each other at Mike's, but they will never like or retweet me because their brand would suffer. So, anyway, read that or wait for the table read. Robbie's gonna crush all the impressions.
Yeah, I'll do great.
Yeah. All right. That's it. See ya.
See you guys.
I fucked it up.
Knock, knock, open up, it's me, the crazy, shady, faded fucker, so rock the G. See a lady, make a baby, lead her on in peace. Only time I give a fuck is for my own release. That's why I own these streets. Straight up, portfolio, showing growth, fuck a pay cut. Yeah, you know I stay slut. Catch me in the spot, looping up for the self-suck. Oh fuck, I busted already, I'm coming bucket so heavy. My dream of cream coming steady, now my mouth open, I'm ready. I'm talking solo, heavy petting on a Friday night. Not talking bashing the bishop, more like Nantucket's delight. I'm taking all the time I need to do it just right. Got my candles in the fishnets cause it's on tonight. Oh, that's right, it's time to fillet. No need to debate me, I suck until I go ooh-wee and spray my white pee-pee. I got that ski.